If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What is good, YouTube? Unfortunately, the top 8 of the Edison Format World Championship hasn't quite finished playing out yet. It was supposed to be done today, but it ended up I don't know. They just always let the players turn these top 8s into some multi-day fiasco. I'm not really sure, but yeah, so it's probably gonna be another day before that gets done. I will. I wasn't able to stream the matches because, it's like I said, it's all just being played out haphazardly. But I'll probably do a video reacting to all the replays, which I should be able to get all those. And then after that, we'll look at the top 8 deck list. So I'll have coverage of all that for you. Today, we're just going to have to do a filler episode of What Are They Cooking? So once again, we're going to be looking at replays that my viewers sent in. If you want to send one in, just go to the link in the description, go to that Discord, go to the Edison Format Replays channel, and we'll take a look at them. And if your replay is cool, I'll consider featuring it in a segment. So here today we got some pretty cool ones, because we always do, because that's the point of the series. Starting off here with Psychics, which are a deck that exists. They actually have a few okay cards. They've got Mind Master, they've got Overdrive Teleporter, they have Emergency Teleport, they have like Krebons, and Destructotron as like a cool effect. Looks like this is one of the builds that's on Gravekeeper's Spy. The opponent seems to be playing something, stuff. So they go Cyber Dragon plus Sangan. The Cyber Dragon gets booked, which is kind of interesting. We hit him with the Sangan. Could drop Trag, but it's not getting over anything here, so no real reason to. We go for the Caius on the Sangan, and now we teleport into Krebons, make a Goyo Guardian. Looks like this is also on Powerwell. Powerwell is neat. It's got there's a bunch of different targets you can technically bring back, I think. Well, wait, it has to be tuners, right? But you can bring back Mind Master with this. No, it doesn't have to be tuners. Just any level 2 or lower. So they play Krebons, maybe you play Mind Master? I don't know. I don't know what all the Powerwell targets are. Oh, there's like that Dr. Cranium guy, I guess. So we bring out Gores here. The Gores is pretty good. It can out a lot of these, but the Goyo still kind of answers it, and we don't have an out. We're going to use Powerwell just to summon Overdrive Teleporter, so this could make a level 6, or it could make a Hyper Psychic Blaster. Looks like we are going to go with the Hyper Psychic Blaster, which is just a big dude that I think also lets you gain life points. Is that only if you hit over a defense mode monster? Yeah, I think so. I don't feel like reading this whole card, but we're going to Goyo over the Gores, and it looks like this is Salvo. Now that we see this Dekoichi, the opponent's just going to pass. So this is on Dr. Cranium, which suggests probably that Mind Master's in there. We're going to main phase 2 make Brionac, but oh, the Brio actually pitches itself. That's neat. Pitches to bounce itself so that Brain Mind doesn't just lose you the game. Which is good because the opponent has a mind control. And I don't know why they don't just set. I guess they just scoop here? Did they need to scoop that early? I'm not sure. Whatever. Alright, game number 2. Game number 2, we're going to have Salvo player opening double Decree with Gores. You love to see it. Set a Plague Spreader. We're going to Synchro here for a Goyo. Goyo is going to take that Plague Spreader and probably just leave it there. We draw Tragodia. God, this hand sucks so bad. Alright, Destructotron is being used, and you could Chain Decree there to keep it alive, but actually you probably just want it to die so you can Gores. Although maybe you should just Trag and... Yeah, maybe you should just Trag and keep the Decree. I'm not sure. It's probably better to use Trag earlier, because you have all these cards in your hand. They're going to bounce their own Brio again. Alright, this time it just kind of looked silly. I don't know. That didn't seem too good. Last time it looked really smart because Brain Mind was specifically one of the only things you would lose to there. But here it was just a neg 2. So the opponent's going to make their own Brionac. And now we're going to steal their Brionac, and we're going to sink 8 for a Colossal Fighter, and we're going to hit over that Gores. The opponent's still not dropping Trag. They just set a DD Crow. Gotta drop Trag at this point, or it's use it or lose it, right? They've got a Caius. That's pretty good. That's actually just lethal. Yeah, that's just lethal. They didn't take the 1,000 burn? Okay, it's lethal. Good, thank God. I was worried we were going to see another messed up game state in one of these. So game number 3, we got to set Dr. Cranium. So they are on Mindmaster on multiple Destructotron. I don't know why they kept this in. They saw Decree last game. Grand Mole is going to be summoned and bounce back to set monster. Now we're going for Dimalk. They are on pulling the rug. Did they even see Dekoichi? Do they know about Salvo? Or are they just siding rug for Caius? That doesn't seem very good. We're going to go Mindmaster just to get to a Psychic Snail so we can make an android. We set Dyna. So the Dyna is going to trade 1 for 1 here. I guess that's okay. We go for the Grand Mole again into the set monster, and then we can end phase pitch the Plague Spreader. Now we just set friggin' Mind over Matter, and now we're going to Psychokinesis the set monster, because Caiusing it would just be too normal. We draw Heavy Storm, that gets negated. The Grand Mole is going to hit in. The rug just doesn't seem to be doing much. Like, is pretty much just Caius, right? I guess Salvo, but we haven't even seen them draw Salvo. I don't even know if they're playing Salvo. Looks like we're going to hit in with a Psychic Commander. That gets over the Gale. The opponent draws Smashing Ground. Right, we're just playing anything in this deck. We got Puppet Plant. We got... Alright, some strange tech choices. Destructotron actually kills itself in the end phase if it's the only Psychic monster you control. No, wait. Yeah. Okay, that's how it works. So we do see a huge power wall here, though. So we're able to bring back the Mindmaster and the Krebons, summoning 2 different Psychics, but more importantly, it puts, like, Krebons plus... it puts Mindmaster on the field with, like, other stuff, so that we can just, like, combo through our deck. It's kind of like if you had a spell that would just summon back Substitoad and some other stuff, but you had, like, more options, because you didn't just have to summon Dupe Frog. So we're going to see them hit into a Fader. We get Brionic out. Opponent should probably just go for Crash into Trag into Steel the Brionac by pitching the Caius to Steel. So we're going to see the opponent Caius, and then they're going to equip. They're going to hit for... They just had lethal through Trag here, right? If they attacked the other way around. I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. No, they had lethal through either if they attacked the other way around, because Armor Arm for some reason doesn't check attack in the graveyard. So even if you drop Trag, you could just hit over the Armor Arm and win. But yeah, they bring out the Kite. Here, the Rug finally going to come into play, and that's going to be the end of the game. Why are they on Puppet Plant, actually? It's a Psychic deck. What is this? This only takes Warriors and Spellcasters, I guess. Are there any Spellcasters? I don't know. It's just a bunch of Psychics. You're playing against a Psychic. Whatever. Next one. This one is Earthbound Immortal OTK, it was described as. I guess we're going to find out what that means. So we see Field Spell. Of course, it is Earthbound Immortals. We're going to activate Upstart. Should probably just lead with the Lone Fire. Yeah, I think it's usually right just to thin your deck. But it gets Dust Shooted. Now we draw into what? Double Coston? I've never heard of this card. I've seen it. I've just never read this card, basically. Now, this is going to be a pretty sick Dark Illusion. Like, actually just negating the Caius, so very nice. We draw into Nightmare Archfiends. We've seen this before played in Owner Seal or something. Very interesting. We draw into Typhoon. Doesn't really do a whole lot. We're going to set it with the Shiba Warrior Taro. Draw into Deep Prison. Okay, that's a pretty good thing to deep... No, we're just going to Torrential there. It's an interesting Torrential. Looks like we're on multiple Mausoleum here. Opponent goes for a Swap Frog. So this is just Swogs. Swap Frog. This is just like frogs, but with Lightsworn and Vayu. What is going on with it? The opponent's deck is actually like equally interesting here. So at this point, they keep hitting in with Swap Frog, but like also they're playing traps. They got a Solemn Judgment. They got a Royal Oppression. They got Torrential in the main. What is this deck? Frog Vayu? That seems so strange. Well, we're getting our face beaten by a Swap Frog every turn we need to draw something. We draw Vanity's Fiend. Surely we have to do something to the Spirit Reaper, right? Deep Prison. Okay, that's something. We set Marshmallow. Yes. Opponent draws into a Rhoda. Rhoda is going to go for a Dark Grepher, I guess. Why not get Armonite? Maybe they don't have room. I don't know what makes the cut and what doesn't in Frog Vayu. So it looks like we're finally going to go in for that Vanity's Fiend. Of course, it will just get immediately outed by Mirror Force. Yeah, unfortunate. But it doesn't even matter if it gets outed by Mirror Force or not, because your back row is just full of stuff, so you can't summon Treeborn Frog. All right, so they go for Storm. We change Starlight Road. That eats an Oppression. Then we Typhoon the Oppression. Then that gets Judgmented, and then we Dark Bribe the Solemn Judgment. So they pay half, and to draw one card, we summon a Stardust Dragon, and the Royal Oppression is gone, and we're down to one back row apiece. Opponent goes for the Grepher play. Now they're going to try and use Plague Spreader. Synchro 6, I'm going to make a Goyo, and we're going to use that Vayu to summon an Armed Wing. Goyo's going to beat over the Stardust. They can't take that. They can't take that. No, why? Ah. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We Crisis averted again. I want to see the Earthbound Immortal, though. I was promised an Earthbound Immortal. Where is it? We're half our way into the deck, and we haven't seen one yet. And presumably you're playing at least 3. Okay, there's the big Earthbound Immortal monster. We've got Asalapiscu, and if we just summon this and crash, that should be game over, right? Because it will kill all of the monsters and inflict 800 for each, so that's going to be 2,400. But we actually can't crash because they've booked their own Goyo. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. We're going to pay 2,000 to summon it anyway, and we're going to attack directly for game because Earthbound Immortals can just do that. Yeah, that is a thing. Like, well, what was I even... Doesn't matter if we crash. I was just thinking too much about its stats and its other effect. Because its other effect is what it's generally played for. We get Dust Shooted again. Very offensive. All right, we're going to draw. Actually, this is just like the same hand. We have an Upstart and a Lone Fire. I guess it's different, but we hit over. It's just a Necro Gardna, so actually pretty good. Brain Caius, though. That's rough. Rough indeed. We're going to hit into a D prison. All right, we draw the Whale. Yeah, we're playing at least six Earthbound Immortals in here, probably. So how the hell did we not see one for 20 cards last game? That's so sad. But yeah, the Whale is like it's like a Rampart Blaster or something. Inflict damage equal to half its defense. Yeah, you can... Yeah, it has to be in defense mode to do this. So you would rather just attack directly. What is the point of this effect, actually? I mean, I guess you can just play into back row with it and just stall. Opponent's going to go for Storm. We have Road again. Road's going to summon the big Stardust Dragon. Opponent summons Swap. Unfortunately, there's no Dark Frog monster. Imagine if you could just, like, modulate the darks in your grave with Swap. Okay, so we're going to be beating in for 29 every turn, but Necro Garden is going to buy them a little bit of time. They go set, and come on, we got to do something. We're going to book the Earthbound Immortal. We're going to hit into this set monster, but it's a Spirit Reaper, so we can't get over that. But we don't need to get over that because we got the Earthbound Immortal coming in. I feel like I was kind of misled, though, with this deck being described as Earthbound Immortal OTK, because it doesn't really seem to be an OTK deck. It just seems to be a regular Earthbound Immortal deck, which is fine, very cool. Attacking directly every turn is neat, and plays a lot of funny cards. I wonder what the Nightmare Archfiend... This is just like... You could use this in like an OTK with Asalapiscu or something, I think, because it summons a bunch of things, and then if Asalapiscu dies, it kills them all and inflicts 800 for each, and then Nightmare Archfiend also inflicts 800 for each, so it just does this crazy burn combo. So cool deck. I guess that's the OTK, probably. I sort of missed that. I apologize for not understanding that right away, but the OTK didn't happen, so... Yeah, here we have Dark Gaia Lightsworn, I think this is. So a lot of, like, turbo cards, a lot of draw cards. There's a Solar Recharge. Gonna start going through our deck here with just a bunch of things. We mill like 10 guys, and we also play Lava Golem, which is neat. The opponent appears to be playing kind of Crystal Seer, Hero Beat, which is a deck we've been seeing a bit more recently. I think we saw it get played at the World Championship itself. We're going to go with the Dark Calling. Dark Calling can summon a huge Dark Gaia. And I think if we summon the Gaia plate, that'll hit over for, what, like 21? So it should just be lethal. Oh, we're not summoning Gaia plate. Alright, we just kind of missed lethal there. I'm not sure what that was about. Because, yeah, we would have done way over 1,400 with the Gaia plate over the Warrior Lady. I guess Honest could be a thing, but Still, I think it's probably worth it to go for it. The Fossil Dyna here is going to trade with the Absolute Zero, and we summon a Gaia plate that gets torrential. We follow it up with a Dark Calling, and we're going to have lethal anyways, so it's not going to matter. Not going to matter. On to game number 2. Game number 2, we open up Trunate again, but not the best in terms of draw cards here. We don't really have any way to turbo through our deck. Opponent's going to summon a Kaiku. We could probably just kill that with the Raikou, although we don't have a Dark Calling yet, so I don't even know if it's worth it. We go for Monster Reincarnation, but the JD is going to eat a DD Crow. We just summon Aaron pass. The opponent going to hit over with an Honest on the DD Warrior Lady, and they're going to hit in directly for 100 with that Crystal Seer. It could come up. We got to trade in. Dark Calling is technically not live because we don't have a rock monster yet. We need to find a Lightsworn maybe? No, that's not so good. It's not so good. We got to find something. All right, we found a rock. We go for Giant Trunate. It gets Judgmented. We can try to brain control the DD Warrior Lady out both of these. If that works, then the water monster will be gone. But it doesn't work, and the opponent sets another Seer. The Seer is going to go off. They get another DD Warrior Lady. We set Decree. That's kind of our potential, our win con here, or enabling our win con, I guess. So they hit over, and do we go for card D? No. We go for Dark Calling, and it eats an Oppression, but we chain that Royal Decree, and the opponent doesn't have a way to deal with this, so it's just going to go off. We summon a, how big is this? This is 45, and we just hit over a Crystal Seer for 4,400. That is lethal. Man, Dark Gaia is a crazy card when it comes down, so yeah, pretty based. Next, final replay. This is, what was this? I'm trying to remember. Oh, Flamel Junk. Flamel. So pretty cool. Also against Hero Beat. So another Hero Beat game. We're going to hit into a Hamster with the Stratos. Very unfortunate. Hamster's going to summon a Raikou from our deck. We go, not using the Raikou yet. We're just going to swing over with Fire Dog, get our nice little plus. Then we can make a Stardust, have a Stardust plus a D-Prison with a Raikou chilling here. I think this game is pretty much over. We can hit in, get Raikou. We have a D-Prison to maybe out the Stardust, but so long as they don't swing into it, it's fine. Also, we just have Cold Wave, and is that just lethal? What is that? It's 61, right? No, 66. Yeah, it's lethal. All right, next game. Cold Wave coming in clutch there, actually. We draw a bunch of set monsters, but we're going second, so it's not as good. Opponent has a Fiendish Chain in here, which is kind of interesting. We go for the Storm, summon the Alias. But it's another Hamster, so we're going to not take any life points. The Raikou's going to answer this Neos Alias, and we just set a Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain going to be used on the Junk Synchron. We're now going to hit in with a Catastor, get rid of the Junk Synchron, set a D-Prison. Now we set a Raikou. Raikou should answer the Catastor. And what do? We summon Magician. And that's going to eat a Prison. Not too good. Opponent draws a Judgment. They can just set this all whenever they want. They're going in with a Grand Mole. The Pesky Boy going to start bouncing all these flip monsters. Not so good for us. We have a Torrential. We have an MST. We could just set MST. Torrential is going to try to get rid of the Mole, but it just gets bounced back with a Compulsory. We go for the Gold Sark. Alright, so we got Cold Wave coming, but how do we, okay, we're just going to Brain Caius. And that's a pretty good Brain Caius. We out the Judgment, eat a Bottomless. We have a Cold Wave now, but it doesn't actually do anything. So the opponent's going in. They got the Absolute Zero, but another Hamster. Hamster just, doing work here, actually. Do we hit into the Raikou? Nope, we just set Fiendish Chain. So we got a Cold Wave. Unfortunately, the Rekindling that we drew for turn not going to be usable here, despite the fact that we milled bunch of Flamvel, so we're just going to have to wait a turn. We can get another Flamvel out of our deck, but we're out. So the opponent summons Alias, Typhoon on the Mirror Force. We're going to try to go for maybe Black Rose Dragon. Wait. You're playing freaking Rinyan? Yo, it could put back one of your Raikou if you're, running out, I guess. That's neat. So we go for Mistworm. Mistworm, going to try to put everything back here so we can follow it up with a Rekindling. And we do follow it up with a Rekindling. Going to go for Stardust and a Thought Ruler. The Thought Ruler can't get D-Prison because it's Thought Ruler. The Stardust, however, can, which will tee us up for a Gem Spark potentially next to what? Dude, just set your Gem Spark in your guy. I guess, I don't know. Why would you not? All right, we're going to have proactively Torrential. That's pretty good. Gets rid of all that stuff, but the opponent just has another Hamster. However, we can chain Gem Spark into the Bottomless and take a nice trade here, but the sort of ticking time bomb is ticking time bomb is that there's another Rekindling here, which is just going to summon 4 more dudes. So we could get into another Stardust and another Thought Ruler and just hit over this Absolute Zero. Let's see if that's what they do. No, they don't have another one. They just go for Colossal Fighter. They have the Trap Stun to stop the D-Prison. And yeah, Stardust can prevent them from losing their field to this Absolute Zero. They basically need Miracle off the top. They don't find it, and this game is pretty much a wrap, I would say. What can you draw here? There's like basically nothing. So yeah, the Junk Synchron Flamel deck, I'm gonna take it. Playing Rinyan's pretty cool. It's like you could get it off Charge or Hamster. Very neat, and it like does something. I get you put back a Raikou, you draw one. It's kind of neat. It's kind of cool. I like it. Cool deck. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.